Thanks a lot for practicing with us today. Today, we're going to work on feet mobility, stretching our calves, the tops of our feet. We'll be working on internal and external rotation of our legs. And we're doing this for stability in the feet and the ankles and the legs. We're going to be working on parts of the calf muscle and aspects of the feet that we don't normally work on in our usual yoga poses. Today, you'll be using a rolled sticky mat and or a blanket or a rolled towel and a block. Enjoy the practice. So grab your props and let's go. Come to standing position. So have your rolled towel or blanket or yoga mat, whatever it is that you want to use. We'll use one block to begin with, just so that we can feel this expression of like going up an incline. Take your block so that it's right in front of you, and as you step into the block with your left foot, and just as if you're going to push off of the back foot, we come to our toes and lift our heel too soon. We're all in the top of the foot as we go upstairs, as we go up an incline. We want to keep the heel down a little bit longer so you get that feeling of elongation in the calf muscle. And release your left foot. Now work on the right foot. So take the right foot to the block and just kind of lean into it like you're about to step up on the block, and just kind of feel the back heel wanting to lift, but instead of lifting it, you're pressing it down even longer. The back foot, we tend to come up, lift the heel so that we can kind of have the left foot just move forward as quickly as possible. But it's just that extra pause that you give it. So let's work the back foot a little bit more by having a towel here, a towel or a blanket roll here for you. As you come to standing position, press your right foot on the rolled blanket and just pause there and just feel that. So it's a slight elevation. You're just pressing down and just learning how to balance on 2 feet with these inclines, with these shifts really helps a lot. And release back and have the same thing. Just as you're pressing into a squishier thing than your block, you're pressing the left foot forward as you're about to take the back foot forward. So come back now to Tadasana. And as you do, take the blanket roll, sorry, the sticky mat or whatever it is you have. And as you press down through the right foot just to the outside edge, just to imagine again that you're just working the back heel a lot. Now, sometimes again, by taking our weight forward, we kind of get this feeling of lightness in the back foot. So instead, put the top of the back foot on the rolled mat. So the top of my back foot is is pressing, but my heel is pressing down. And I've now taken my right foot off the rolled mat to the side, and I'm trying to step it forward a little bit. And it's when you step forward that you're really feeling, oh yeah, I get it. That's a little tight for me right there. So you're pressing the base of the toes onto the rolled mat. The heel is pressing down. you're drawing forward, and maybe you can step your right foot forward a little bit more as you keep your back heel down, right? So it's the back foot that we're really working on this gait, on this natural walking gait that we have. Release now, and let's try the other side. Start with your right foot just on the yoga mat or on the blanket, whatever you've got. And now parallel your feet, right? So one foot feels a little bit more elevated, obviously. Now take your opposite foot forward. So as you take the left foot forward, keep your right heel pressing very firmly down. Keep that strong, and maybe you can even bend the knee while still keeping the right heel down. And this does not feel that comfortable, I know, but it's just this tightness that we've developed in our calf muscles over the years, and the Achilles tendon, and it tends to just kind of limit our gait here, limit this this kind of pelvic action, limit the action of the inner groin muscles actually as you press the heel down. So come back to opposite foot on the mat. So the left foot is still on the yoga mat. Now, do something that we rarely do in yoga, which is it's called the rainbow effect, actually, where you turn your foot just slightly out. Okay, so I'm turning my left foot out to the left side just a little bit. So like a plie that a dancer might do, an external rotation of the upper leg. So we get to a different part of the leg muscles. Step your right foot forward so that foot is just slightly turned out. Keep your back heel on the floor, but your toes are on the rolled mat. Just bend your knees so that you get to a different part of the calf muscle now. Now, another thing we rarely do is turn the toes in like a pigeon toe. So step back, turn your toes in a lot. So again, it's a misalignment, but we're just trying to get to another area of the leg. So as you turn your toes in, again, step your right foot forward, but keep your back heel down. And perhaps you're feeling like the muscles start to work all the way up to the pelvis when you do that. Now let's do it in alignment. So step your foot back so that the feet are parallel, like in Tadasana, but your left foot is elevated on the the surface that you've created, the blanket or the sticky mat. Your back heel is down, and now step forward, keeping the back heel down. Great. So you just have worked that back side of the leg really nicely. Come back to stand off the mat and just kind of notice there's a little fire going on in that leg from all that work. Let's step to the opposite side so that your right foot, the base of the right toes are on the mat, your heel is off the mat, and your feet are parallel in Tadasana. You're able You've worked these muscles enough so that they haven't atrophied and they can handle these irregularities. Come back to the Tadasana stance here with your big toe, base of the big toe on the rolled mat and your feet parallel. And we pause here. So this is a really simple exercise to work different sides of the calf muscle and the Achilles tendon all the way up to the pelvis. Come to the top of your mat. And as you come to the top of the mat with your feet parallel to each other, bend your knees, but keep your heels pressing down. So we work the back side of the leg, very fully. As you draw your pelvis down a little bit more, maybe you feel like one side feels just a little bit more contracted than the other. Just keep that steadiness in the pose and inhale, reach your arms up. Have this nice fullness as you keep the knees bent. And just pass your left hand to the outside of your right leg, your right hand to your low back, and twist. Just turn your heart toward the side wall here as you do that. Slide your hand a little bit lower. Keep a nice fullness to your heart. Come back to the center position. Drop a little bit lower if you can. Reach your right hand down. Take your left hand to the low back and twist. Turn your heart toward the side. Come back to the center position. Root down to inhale and lift yourself up. Exhale, release your hands. Let's come to all fours position now. In all fours position, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Right now, I find it just a little bit more convenient to have my blocks under my hands here, so I can just kind of work this really nicely. So in the same way that we did that rainbow effect, what we turn the foot to one side and then back to center and then over in that pigeon toed, we'll be doing the same thing in this lunge pose. So start with the right toes turning out and step your blocks or your hands, if you're not on blocks, step out to this angle here. Now, check in to see that this right knee, your right knee, is right over your ankle. And don't go too far. Just kind of open the pelvic areas. We're working up from the feet through the back side of the leg. And now you're probably feeling how we're sort of entering into the area of the inner thigh. And inhale, lift yourself up and come to the opposite direction. So turn your toes in slightly, but see if you can kind of keep the pelvis moving back. And as you do, again, we're just kind of working on different parts of especially the calf muscle and the pelvis as you bow down. And in the same way, take the inner thighs back and apart. Just pause here. Come back to all fours position. And in all fours position, just pause here with your toes tucked under. Draw your pelvis back. And so it looks like this. If your knees are not happy with this, make sure you've got a little padding here. With your toes tucked under, draw your pelvis way back. And breathe in deep. And breathe out long. Come back to all fours position. And in all fours position, in the same way, step your left foot now to the outside of your wrist. The blocks help give you a lot of lift here. So you start with your knee right over your ankle. And we'll do again that rainbow effect. We'll turn the left toes way to the side, reaching at the diagonal, draw over. Just keep an eye on your knee. Keep this nice openness. Soften down. And inhale, lift yourself up. Have the foot now directed toward that more anatomically correct position. Check your knee again. And now turn the toes in toward the midline of the mat. Take the pelvis back, draw yourself down again. And this kind of easy way of just drawing yourself deeper into the pose. This allows you to check in to a little bit different area of the body. And now come up and turn the foot to that anatomically correct position before stepping back with your toes tucked under. Again, just with the toes tucked under, try to press all 10 toes on the mat as you walk your hands forward as you bring your pelvis back. And inhale, lift yourself up. Let's all meet in a standing position. And as you stand tall, have your feet parallel to each other. Lift and spread your toes. As you spread your toes, now draw your toes down in that spread form so you stay rooted on the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up. Now grab hold of your left wrist and reach over to the side. So we have this attention all the way from our feet that we've been working on so much to the fingertips. Bend both knees. And like we did before, take the tops of the thighs back. Keep on drawing the engagement from the foundation, from your feet to your pelvis. You've got that steadiness. And now get even more freedom by reaching over. Just let your right hand settle down, but keep your left hand reaching over. Inhale, rise up, and just pause. Notice how now it feels like one side. As you breathe into that left side, it just feels so much longer, so much fuller than the opposite side. So let's do a variation here, or go to the opposite side. So hold on to the right wrist with the left hand. Spread the fingers, bend your knees. So as we go to the opposite side and reach over, your left hand is really pulling your wrist, but your right hand, your right arm is really resisting that. And that strong engagement builds so much strength in the arms. Bend your knees a little bit more. And as you engage all the way from the feet to the pelvis, that steadiness, that strength in the foundation allows you to go a little bit deeper in the side stretch. Release your left hand down. Just keep on stretching over to the side. And inhale, rise up. Let's hope you have this feeling of balanced action. Equipoise, it's called in yoga. Just close your eyes for a moment in Tadasana. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Today, we've worked on the back side of the legs, especially the calf muscle and the Achilles tendon. And hopefully that work has made you feel just slightly more stable. So let's see if we can just play with that stability as we take our weight to the right foot and just step your left foot back. Now we're doing the opposite. We were trying to get the heel down. Now we'll just try to press the tops of the toenails down. Now it's a balance pose. So see that you can press all 5 toenails down to get length now on the front side of the foot, because we are really contracting the front side of the foot as we work the heel down. Release your foot And let's do the opposite. So start with your feet parallel, balance on your left foot to take your right foot back, and see if you can take it back pretty far. And I think it's a little bit complicated to get the fourth and the fifth toes, those baby toes, involved, but see if you can press your toenails so firmly so that you get the front side of the foot to become quite active. Release now, release your foot down. So, thank you for practicing today. Now's the time to take a moment to lie down, to take Shavasana, or just go easily into the next activities of your day. Namaste.